Greetings, this is Jeff Chorpenning. It's January 29th, 2014. I just read meeting minutes from a December 10th meeting, and I thought I would just go ahead and maybe start doing that every month, and then I can add my opinion since I basically never get any input on these meeting minutes. And by the way, I've never signed off on them, primarily for that reason. I'm going to go ahead and read what I received last night. There's several of them. We did not have our meeting last night because the two men that scheduled that meeting, the first one for January 2014, the current president, Daniel Van Buren, did not attend, and the current vice president, Benjamin Hupp, did not attend. There was no quorum. So the fiscal officer and myself were unable to conduct that meeting. We would have required at least a minimum of 2 trustees in order to conduct business. These records of proceedings were copies that I received last night. This first one I'll read, and then I'll make my comments at the end. Record of Proceedings, Bowling Green Township Board of Trustees, held December 31st, 2013. Bowling Green Township Board of Trustees opened this Records and Retentions meeting at 6 p.m. with roll call. Well, I'm not going to wait till the end here. Obviously, an error, cut and paste or something. This 6 p.m. meeting was not a meeting about the Records and Retentions. It looks like she goes on and that is explained as we go along. All trustees and fiscal officer were present. That part is correct. This special meeting is being held to discuss the park committee. Okay. It is not for records and retentions. It was the special meeting that they called wanting to discuss the park committee. All park committee members were requested to attend. From what I understand, the fiscal officer sent a letter to members of the current park committee. Visitors: Shannon Duvall, Jack Hedges, Tim May, Barb Selig, Sally Bryan, Iris Hedges, Susie Vermillion, Mike Vermillion, Gary Stepp. There were no park committee members present. Trustee Hupp said there were lots of questions residents had and can't be answered by the park committee since no one attended. Mike Vermillion asked when it was established. Trustee Chorpenning said it started in 2006 or 2007. I'll have to check the meeting minutes and make sure if that's accurate or not. We do have the history in writing of the entire park committee from beginning to end. Gary Stepp said the park committee got grants that the township would never have gotten if it weren't for the park committee. They have canceled the last couple of meetings and none of them helped with the playground or the flagpole project. It's hard to read this and not interject as I go, so might as well just do it the way I feel. I disagree with that completely. This statement that is here that says they have canceled the last couple of meetings and none of them helped with the playground or the flagpole project. As a matter of fact, there would be no playground or flagpole projects if it weren't for the park committee and all the good works that they have done over the years. Now that is a fact you can take to the bank. But I'll continue with these meeting minutes as they're written. Mike Vermillion said the members all had good intentions at the time, but participation has dwindled. And by the way, I did video record this meeting, and it is also on this station. So if you'd like to see and hear it word for word how it happened, you can just find it. It's December 31st, 2013, 6 p.m. meeting for trustees and park committee. Trustee Chorpenning said that the board decided to micromanage the park committee, so what could they do? Trustee Hupp said all they had to do was to make recommendations to the board, but they didn't even do that. Trustee Chorpenning said they have accomplished quite a few things. Barb Selig said they have done several things, but they have also done some damage. Now, according to Barb Selig, they removed the merry-go-round when the residents of the township didn't want it removed. Patty Volan said they had no authority to spend the money. Gary said they could have stopped it. Trustee Hupp said it was installed before they even knew about it. Several comments in here tell the story that is really not the facts of the matter. It goes on. Barb Selig asked the fiscal officer if she received copies of the calendar. Fiscal officer said she does not receive copies of the calendar. Trustee Van Buren said the reason the park committee was started was because Will Kern was complaining about the cost of the utilities, but that has never happened. They still didn't make enough to cover utilities. Should just go back to the way it was when everyone just pitched in to help. Mike Vermillion said it started for good reasons, but he feels it has turned political, mainly because of Jeff Chorpenning. Sally Bryant asked if the fiscal officer sent a letter to all committee members. Fiscal officer said she did. Mike Vermillion hopes Park Committee doesn't feel like they are bashing them. He appreciates all them have done. Trustee Van Buren and Hupp agree. Trustee Van Buren made a motion to give the responsibility back to the community and disband the park committee effective January 1st. Motion second by Trustee Hupp. Roll call vote. Van Buren, yes. Hupp, yes. Chorpenning, no. Trustee Chorpenning moved to adjourn. There was no second. Trustee Chorpenning suggested contacting legal counsel before anything new is established. Trustee Chorpenning moved to contact legal counsel. There was no second to the motion. Trustee Hupp requested the fiscal officer send a letter to all park committee members informing them the park committee has been disbanded, but all members are still encouraged to participate. Sally suggested purchasing a new refrigerator to replace the old one that is not working right. Page 2. Trustee Hupp made a motion for Don and Sandy Watkins to take care of building rental and reservation calendar. Trustee Van Buren seconded the motion. Roll call vote. Van Buren, yes. Hupp, yes. Chorpenning left meeting. Trustee Hupp made a motion to adjourn. Trustee Van Buren seconded the motion. Meeting adjourned at 6:42 p.m. End of the proceedings. Now, I did make a few comments of my own as I read this. Again, this entire meeting is documented on this same YouTube station. I would like to add, since this time, to the best of my knowledge, this letter that the fiscal officer was going to send to these park committee members, I have had none of them tell me that they've received it. As a matter of fact, I have asked one member, the president, and she has not been contacted at all by the fiscal officer, by Trustee Hupp or Trustee Van Buren on this entire matter. And as Paul Harvey would always say, now for the rest of the story. I would suggest that you watch that video and see for yourself You will note that after I tried to adjourn the meeting unsuccessfully, because business at this special meeting had been concluded, some of the people in this visitor list decided to block my camera and start denying public access. That also goes into the next meeting, which I will probably read those meeting minutes too if they're in this pile on a separate recording.